And now, live from the Old Guy John Studios, high above his garage, somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, here's Old Guy John.
All right, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Old Guy John here, senior citizen, Pacific Northwest. Doing the live. I changed to Sunday for YouTube. So welcome in. We will see. I've got my monitor here, watching myself, just making sure I'm getting out there. This is Sunday evening, the 6th of July, and the theme for this week is Independence Day. Had Independence Day celebrated here in the U.S. on Friday, carrying that theme through the live today. Thank you for joining me. I decided to do this on a Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as the Saturday 6 o'clock Pacific Time didn't have a lot of viewers, and we'll see what happens. Just changing it up a little bit here. But as always, you can view this live as a recording. So you may be able to view this later at the time that you so choose. If you've not been here before, Old Guy John, I do this again. I do this live, and I divide it up into segments of 3. So I'm known for a couple of things, and if you've looked at my shorts or my videos, you will see that I'm known for inspirational quotes, silly dad jokes, and inspirational poems. So what I do here in the live is do segments of those 3, and try to do 3 of those throughout an hour here, and usually try to do those in a theme. This week being a holiday weekend, decided to do Independence Day, which I'm sure I've done at some point before. However, sometimes I'll do something different that is not holiday themed. For instance, I've done lives on humility and strength as an example. So if you don't care for this Independence Day version, go ahead and check on back. You've also got a couple of lives in the recorded sessions there that you can also check out. But as always, I start on a serious note, and that is the topic of suicide prevention. Suicide continues to be a significant problem here in the U.S. It is also a problem worldwide. However, suicide awareness, there is a suicide prevention hotline here in the U.S. That is 988. If you happen to be going through a particularly difficult time, you can dial 988 and speak to a live counselor. If you are like myself and happen to be a military veteran, we are actually 3 times more likely to end our lives by suicide. Also, veterans may dial 988 and select option 1 for military specific counselors. Now, you yourself might be doing okay. However, there might be someone you know, maybe a friend, family member, co-worker, who's going through an exceptionally difficult time. You might just want to reach out to them, give them a smile, maybe ask them how they're doing. And if you find out that they are struggling at this point, you might also let them know that there is help out there. Again, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline number Here in the U.S. is 988. Most of our families, most of us have been touched by suicide. My family, we had someone commit suicide, and then someone that I worked with before, a younger person, tragically ended their life. So once again, you may be the one to help somebody through an exceptionally difficult time. All right, thank you for coming in here on this Sunday evening, the 6th of July. Old Guy John here. Ask you to check out my channel if you haven't already. You can like and subscribe. Lots and lots of quotes there. A couple of inspirational poems. A few other longer videos that I've done there. And, of course, dad jokes. So go ahead and roll into the first segment here of dad jokes in the theme of Independence Day. Had it going there already. So what did the colonists wear to the Boston Tea Party? T-shirts. And what was the most popular dance in 1776? The Independence. And what does the Statue of Liberty stand for? Because it can't sit down. And if you cross a patriot and a dog with curly hair, what do you get? A Yankee Poodle. And what ghost haunted King George III? The spirit of 76. And what do our flag and a sad candy cane have in common? They are both red, white, and blue. And was the Declaration of Independence written in Philadelphia? No, it was written in ink. And why did Paul Revere ride his horse from Boston to Lexington? Because the horse was too heavy to carry. And what is the most popular sport on the 4th of July? Flag football. And what protest by a group of dogs occurred in 1772? The Boston Flea Party. All right, enough of that. Thank you for coming in on a Sunday evening here, the 6th of July, celebrating the Independence Day weekend. There we go. Theme of Independence Day here in the live. Thanks for joining me on this Independence Day weekend. I am known for three things. I'm known for corny dad jokes, which you just had witnessed, inspirational poems, and inspirational quotes. I call this the Inspiration Hour. Once upon a time, I called it the Positivity Hour, but some of these quotes are less positive and just more straight to the point and meaningful. I'm not here to get money from people or sell products, anything like that. I'm simply here to present things to y'all that may inspire you in some way. Whether you're having a difficult week, had a difficult day, and trying to get a quick laugh, or maybe being inspired by something that I present here, that's all I'm looking for. I do prepare these scripts every week, and I do not pull the content for these scripts just randomly from the interweb. The things I put in here actually mean something to me while I'm researching these lives. With that said, I'll get right into some inspirational quotes again on today's theme of Independence Day. Independence means enjoying freedom and empowering others too to let them do so. That's from Brickman, from the work Tin Alone. This one's from Samuel F. Smith. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And here's one from Anthony T. Hinks. American Independence Day celebrates our independence within ourselves. And here's one. This day, Independence Day, reminds us that true independence is not merely the absence of external control, but the resolute presence of self-determination. And that is from Alou Denish Abiero. And here's one. For the sake of those who lost lives, for the sake of those who stand at the borders to save our lives, let us respect and love each other, spread brotherhood, and empower each other to grow. This is the true essence of freedom, and this is what we should remind everyone on this Independence Day. And that is from Anamika Mishra. And this particular quote was written for the celebration of the nation of India having Independence Day, but is equally applicable to us here in the United States. Here's another inspirational quote. Yet through all the gloom, I could see the rays of ravishing light and glory. I can see that the end is more than worth all the means, and that posterity will triumph in that day's transaction, even though we should rue it, which I trust in God we shall not. That is from one of the founding fathers, John Adams. Like that quote, especially the end there. Even though we should rue it, which I trust in God we shall not. And here's one from Abhijit Naskar. Until all of us are free, none of us are free. And here's one. To think for yourself, to choose for yourself, to speak for yourself, to act for yourself, to be yourself. These are human rights worth defending. And that's from Rochelle E. Goodrich. I've done some quotes from Rochelle before. Have a couple of more of her quotes in here. And I am inspired so much by her quotes that I'm probably going to pick up one of her books here. So welcome in. Old Guy John here, Senior Citizen Pacific Northwest, trying this YouTube live here on a Sunday evening. Started at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Let me know if this works for you. Right now, just watching myself here, but that's perfectly fine. Those of you who stroll through my channel may be coming across this live, and that's perfectly fine. I hope that you may find something here inspiring. The theme for today's live is Independence Day. We celebrated Independence Day here, the 4th of July on Friday, and I'm carrying that theme through the weekend. Today is Sunday, 6th of July. I do hope you had a safe 4th of July. That was enjoyable. Once again, I do these lives in segments of 3. I do dad jokes, inspirational quotes, which you just witnessed, and inspirational poems. So here's one. This is called A Nation's Strength, and this is from William Ralph Emerson. He's actually the cousin of Ralph Waldo Emerson. He was an architect, and you can kind of get the vibe of that through this particular poem, A Nation's Strength. What makes a nation's pillars high and its foundation strong? What makes it mighty to defy the foes that round it throng? It is not gold, its kingdoms grand go down in battle shock. Its shafts are laid on sinking sand, not on abiding rock. Is it the sword? Ask the red dust of empires passed away. The blood has turned their stones to rust, their glory to decay. And is it pride? Ah, that bright crown has seemed to nations sweet, but God has struck its luster down in ashes at his feet. Not gold, but only men can make a people great and strong. Men who for truth and honor's sake stand fast and suffer long. Brave men who work while others sleep, who dare while others fly. They build a nation's pillars deep and lift them to the sky. And that is A Nation's Strength. That is from William Ralph Emerson. Again, cousin to famous poet Ralph Waldo Emerson, poet and author. A lot of the poems that I pull for these lives are from a website called Family Friend Poems, and I ask you to check them out. They not only have traditional poems, like the one I just read, but also some modern day poets, which you may have not heard from. And we have one coming up a little bit later here in the live. Once again, thanks for joining me here on a Sunday evening, 6 July 2025, in celebration of Independence Day. Hope again that you had a nice Independence Day. If you've not been with me before, I build my live here on three things: inspirational poems, inspirational quotes, which you just heard, and dad jokes. Now, here we go for some more dad jokes. What did a patriot put on his dry skin? Revolution. And did you hear the one about the Liberty Bell? Yeah, it cracked me up too. And which colonist told the most jokes? Pennsylvanians. And what is red, white, blue, and green? A seasick Uncle Sam. And what does the Statue of Liberty say when visitors leave? Stay in torch. And what do you eat on July 5th? Independence Day old pizza. Or hamburgers. Or sausages. What did Luke Skywalker say on the 4th of July? May the 4th be with you. And why did the corn on the cob go to the 4th of July parade? Because it heard there would be amazing floats. And what was the wildest battle of the Revolutionary War? The Battle of Bonkers Hill. And what are the most patriotic flowers? Yankee Doodle dandelions. Got enough of those in my yard. Why did the hot dog go to the 4th of July party? Because he heard it was buns of fun. And did you hear about the angry firecracker? He was so mad that he exploded. All right, Old Guy John, Senior Citizen, Pacific Northwest. Check out my channel if you care to. I have lots of shorts of dad jokes and inspirational quotes, a few inspirational poems, and other postings there. Feel free to view at your leisure. Like and subscribe if you care to. I am over 260 subscribers now. Not as many as some of the other platforms, but I'm bound and determined to make YouTube my permanent home here. I think there's a lot more flexibility and a lot more sanity over here. Today's theme is Independence Day. Once again, hope you had a nice Independence Day on Friday the 4th. Continuing that through the weekend with the live here. And into a segment now of inspirational quotes. The most beautiful feeling is to breathe in the open air. The most important thing in life is that we live in a peaceful atmosphere. The great satisfaction is that our generation grows up without fear. The biggest relaxation is that we are totally free to enjoy freedom. And all these great things we did not get ourselves. But all these things were gifted to us by those who sacrificed their lives, not for themselves, but for us. With gratitude to all our freedom fighters, I congratulate you on Independence Day. I wish you would also be a fighter and get victory over your hard times and challenges in life. And that's from Mohammed Zaki Ansari. And I like that very end there. I wish you would also be a fighter and get victory over your hard times and challenges in life. Many of my fellow brothers that were in the military, brothers and sisters, have struggles in their life just to get by. Once again, the veteran community, military veterans, are 2 to 3 times more likely to end their life by suicide than other segments of the population. So it's important, if you know someone who served, just to reach out to them and let them know that you care about them and you want to know how they're doing. Here's another inspirational quote in the theme of Independence Day. If we don't take responsibility of what happens to our society, then no amount of independence can improve human condition. And that's from Abhijit Naskar. And here's one from Rochelle E. Goodrich. I have a couple of hers in a row here. Liberty, once tasted, is an incurable addiction. And here's one. Freedom is the color of red. It is saturated with the blood of those who fought to attain it. And it will continue to be colored by the blood of those who fight to protect it. Once again, that's another quote from Rochelle E. Goodrich. And here's one. The fact is, with every friendship you make and every bond you establish, you are shaping the image of America projected to the rest of the world. And that's from former First Lady Michelle Obama. That one I like. I've had the privilege in my job as a technical instructor to visit different places internationally. And I try to be very polite and respectful of the culture that I'm in and not be the bad American. So I think that's something that we should keep in mind when we travel internationally. And here's a traditional quote. This is from William Faulkner. We must be free not because we claim freedom, but because we practice it. And here's one from Malcolm X. You cannot separate peace and freedom, because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. And here's one from Abraham Lincoln. I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. And again, I like that, living up to the ideals of where you're from and being respectful. Old Guy John, thank you for coming in on this Sunday evening, the 6th of July, celebrating Independence Day weekend here. The theme here this evening is Independence Day. If you're unable to join me this evening, I encourage you to watch the replay of this live and do some likes and some comments over there. I do these lives in segments of dad jokes, inspirational quotes, which you just heard, and inspirational poems. This is a poem called Our Flag, and this is from a more modern day poet. This is from Patricia A. Fleming. I've featured some of her poems on past lives. This was actually written in July 2020. Once again, I pull a lot of the poems that I share with you here from a website called Family Friend Poems. So here is Our Flag by Patricia A. Fleming. She waves for my attention, so free upon the breeze. The sun reflects her stars and stripes, as proud as she can be. She tells a tale of people lost, who came to find their way and carried on through every loss to bring us here today. She reminds me of the brave who fought to keep our country strong, and shouts at me of victories to right egregious wrongs. She whispers to our children of all this country has to give, and begs that they stand up for her and give thanks for how they live. She cries to me of apathy, of prejudice and hate, of disrespect for what she stands, and a constitution we forsake. She demands that I acknowledge her and what she means to me, and dares me to imagine life if she should cease to be. And still in glory she unfurls and gives me hope again for a people reunited and a country on the mend. So each time I see her wave at me, I'll stop and gaze above and take a moment to respect this country that I love. As a beautiful poem called Our Flag from Patricia A. Fleming. That was published July 1st, 2020. And again, that was from the Family Friend Poems website. That poem actually reminds me of when I was in the military, stationed overseas. I was not in combat, but when I was stationed outside the country, when I would look up at the flag, it meant extra special things to me at that point, of those who had given their lives or fought for her on international lands and never made it home. And I had the privilege to serve at that time. Just a beautiful, beautiful symbol of our country. All right, Old Guy John, senior citizen, Pacific Northwest. I have to see where I'm pointing here. That's what I'm looking over here. Do this live. Trying this on a Sunday evening. Looks like one person just came in here. Might actually be my moderator or one of my family members, but you can let yourself be known if you will in the chat. I'm Old Guy John. Decided to do this on a Sunday evening. Wasn't getting much activity on Saturday evenings, so decided to try Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm known for three things: inspirational quotes, inspirational poems, and dad jokes. The theme this week has been Independence Day. I'm going into my last segment here in the live, so get on with some more dad jokes. How come there aren't any knock-knock jokes about America? Because freedom rings. And what kind of tea did the American colonists want? Liberty. And what did one American flag say to the other flag? Nothing. It just waved. And which flag is the most highly rated? The American flag. It has 50 stars. What do you call an American revolutionary who draws cartoons? A Yankee Doodler. And why were the first Americans like ants? Because they lived in colonies. And why doesn't fire get to enjoy a day off on the 4th of July? Because fire works. And what do you serve with cheese on Independence Day? Firecrackers. Why did the firecracker go to the hair salon? Needed to trim its bangs. And what's Uncle Sam's favorite snack? Firecracker Jacks. And why don't Americans play hide and seek? Because freedom cannot be hidden. What's the American Eagle's favorite game? Capture the flag. All right, welcome in. Old Guy John here, senior citizen. Do this on weekends here in the Pacific Northwest. Trying Sunday evening here on YouTube on this Independence Day weekend. Hope your Independence Day was enjoyable. Had just a nice little family cookout in the backyard here for Independence Day. Lots and lots of illegal fireworks, because nothing here in Oregon is supposed to leave the ground. Do this from the Pacific Northwest, Portland, Oregon area. And fireworks were going off to the wee morning hours of Saturday, which probably happened in your area too. Welcome in. If you're not watching this live and you're watching this on replay, please check out the other things on my channel. I have lots of shorts of dad jokes like you just heard, and inspirational quotes, which you're about to hear, and a few other things, some poems. I actually have a couple of children's stories on there. So feel free to check out everything. We're now into our last segment this evening of inspirational quotes. And again, these are on the theme of Independence Day. We're blessed with the opportunity to stand for something, for liberty and fairness. And these are things worth fighting for, worth devoting our lives to. And that's from late President Ronald Reagan. We're blessed with the opportunity to stand for something, for liberty and fairness. And these are things worth fighting for, worth devoting our lives to. And here's one from Fannie Lawald. That is the truly beautiful, encouraging aspect of freedom. No one struggles for it just for himself. And here's one from Irma Bombeck. She was a columnist in the good old days of newsprint and newspapers. And this is kind of a fun little quote from her regarding the 4th of July. You have to love a nation that celebrates its independence every July 4th. Not with a parade of guns, tanks, and soldiers who file by the White House in a show of strength and muscle, but with family picnics where kids throw frisbees, the potato salad gets iffy, and the flies die from happiness. And again, that's from Irma Bombeck. And here's one from President William Clinton. There's nothing wrong with America that cannot be cured with what is right in America. And here's one from Adrian Cronauer. The American flag represents all of us and all the values we hold sacred. And here's one from Rafael Cruz. Only in America can someone start with nothing and achieve the American dream. That's the greatness of this country. And here's one from Walt Disney. Laughter is America's most important export. Here's another inspirational quote. Our small ears never had such a workout as on the 4th of July, hearing not only our own bursting crackers but also those of our friends, and often the boom of homemade cannon shot off by daring boys of 16 years, ready to lose a hand if it blew up. That's from comedian Paul Engel. Thank you for coming in on this Sunday evening, the 6th of July, theme of Independence Day this weekend. Decided to do the live here on the Sunday evening for YouTube. I was doing it on Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Decided to try it here at 7 p.m. So I'm not sure if I need to throttle back a little bit on the lives, but I'll keep it going for now. I do these, I call this the Inspiration Hour. I do these in segments of 3. Dad jokes, inspirational quotes, which you just heard, and inspirational poems. I do prepare these scripts in advance so I can keep going even if I don't have a lot of people viewing my live at the time. But I do not pull the content for these lives randomly off the internet. The things that I put into my script here actually mean something to me when I read them and when I'm gathering information for these lives. So I hope you can appreciate some of that. My goal here, not to make money, not to sell anything, but to present some material maybe to inspire you. Maybe you've had an exceptionally difficult week, a difficult day. Maybe one of my little corny dad jokes will make you smile a little bit. Or maybe you'll be inspired by one of the quotes or poems that I present here. So this is my last content offering of the evening. This is the final poem, again in the theme of Independence Day. And this is, again, a poem from the website Family Friend Poems. This is from Joseph C. Wisemantel, and this poem is called Hold Close. This was published back in June 2021. This entire nation, not just part, unfolds us, lifts us each day's start, conceived in paper, pen, and heart, under one God, states of the art, holding close to breast in one hand, our bond for and love of this land. Each mountain, each grain of ocean sand, we pledge allegiance, we stand. Our unfurled red, white, and blue, liberty and justice her cue. Nourish our troops, faithful and true, parading now, hold close we view. This new generation now here, born in this millennium, here, together we embrace, hold dear, united, far away is near. Place one word close to another. This nation ours, like none other. We're like sister, we're like brother, loving this land like one mother. Not July 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. July 4th we holler and heard. Our joyous outcry to be heard, high as eagles our lofty bird. And that is Hold Close from Joseph C. Wisemantel. Again, that was published in June of 2021 from the website Family Friend Poems. Theme today has been Independence Day. Thank you for your time, spending time with me. It is never lost on me that the time you spend here with me is time you could be spending doing other things. Whether you're hearing this live with me or watching this as a replay. And never forget that you are a beautiful person, you're special, and you're loved. Yes, that's right. Never forget that you are a beautiful person, you're special, and you're loved. I have a simple request for you for the coming week. Be kind to others in the coming week. Be humble. We could use humility and humility and kindness more today than ever. So thank you for spending some time with me in this live. And next week, 7 p.m. Sunday evening, Pacific Standard Time. I always wave with my wrong hand here. So thank you all for being in here. And I always have trouble here. There we go. On YouTube. Thanks again. See a third viewer coming in at the very last minute. You can watch this live on replay coming up in a couple of seconds here. Bye-bye, everyone.